are back with more Final Fantasy XIV. Last we left off, we stormed the Praetorium and defeated Gaius and his little toy. And also rescued Tancred from the clutches of Lahabrea. Anyway, with that having been said and done, there is more to do. Vakama, it pleases me to see you well. Do excuse me for interrupting, Vakama. My lady, the gentleman from Ashkana Exports has just left. I understand now why you didn't want to receive him. You did well, Tataru. Please inform the guards we will not be receiving any further guests this morning. Thank you, my lady. Ever since we defeated Gaius von Belsar and destroyed his ultimate weapon, the eyes of the world have followed our every move, scarce remembering to blink. Where once we worked in secret, with precious few friends and all too many enemies, we are now besieged by benefactors, each one more eager than the last to offer us his complete support. A true embarrassment of riches. Of course, every promise of patronage... Some people pronounce it patronage, some patronage. Of course, every promise of patronage comes with a price. Some make their intentions known from the start, while others endeavor to engage us more subtly. Just as how they will, the message is ever the same. We shall help you, but only if you help us. The gentleman Tataru spoke of was more brazen than most. In exchange for certain supplies, he would have us resolve a business dispute. Naturally, I refused him, as I have every other merchant of his ilk. Alas, the Syndicate's overtures are not so easily rejected. When we formed the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, it was with the goal of serving Eorzea, not the interests of individual Eorzeans. Our neutrality is fundamental to our cause. In my heart, I know this to be true, and yet... If accepting these offers of patronage could empower us to do greater good, and they not warrant greater consideration? Our Baldesian colleagues have been generous beyond measure, but we cannot expect them to... Forgive me, I did not mean to burden you so. Yet, my urge to share this dilemma may not be wholly misguided. Might I impose upon you to consult the others? They like to have their own opinions on this matter. If you are wondering why in the last video I was wielding an axe and had different armor, whereas this video I wield a sword and shield, that is because I am a paladin, and that is because going forward, dungeons and trials that I do not have the opportunity for you to use NPCs to fill out the rest of your party. Ergo, I will simply do them solo on a max level class. Recall you are meeting with the Admiral shortly after the Lamentsons sent word of the summoning of Titan. And mayhap you also recall my words to our host. I said unto Merlviv that her people had broken their treaty with the kobolds, and that the beastmen had justly responded. That we had been called to intervene in a conflict which she herself had invited. I spoke, in short, the truth. And wherefore did I speak it? Because, owing no allegiance to Limsa, I felt no compulsion to allow the Lamentsons to distort the facts to fit a narrative which justified their actions and absolved them of guilt. Upon this subject, Minfilia can expect a similar reply. Our many dalliances with the city-states have already weakened our claim to neutrality, but the path she contemplates would us relinquish it entirely. Fortune begets power, and power fortune. That we, and especially you, have power is beyond doubt. The question is what to do with it. You may be interested to know that there is a growing belief amongst the refugees that Alamigo can be liberated, if only the Scions would commit their strength to the cause. Yet theirs is but one of many causes. We stand at a crossroads, Vakama. Each path is paved with good intentions, but where they lead is far from clear. None can deny that we would benefit from more support, but it becomes at the cost of our principles. Neutrality was ever a delicate matter. I've lost count of the times I've had to explain to people that our allegiances need not necessarily lie in the same place as our headquarters. Mind you, if we are to sell our services for Gil, we might as well declare our fealty to Ul'dah now and be done with it. I'm quite sure Ida would enjoy the bribes. I've been receiving a lot of gifts lately, and Papalimo keeps making me send them back. It wouldn't be so bad, but some of them are really nice. I mean, really nearly abandon your principles nice, you know? No, Ida. It is the lot of the powerful to attract the covetous as well as the needy. Thus doth prudence dictate that those with power proffer aid with one hand, whilst the other reserveth ever on their hills. Alas, we have not the luxury of time to decipher our petitioners' machinations. Nay, not while the beast tribes do labor unseen, defiant in defeat, to raise up their fallen rivals once more. Doubt not that they shall return, stronger and bolder both, nor that we shall be the ones to meet them. Their sacred charge shall ever be ours. It is but a pity we are so few, and our fortunes so finite. Yeah, that's true. Although, if you're going through the MS game for the first time, this won't reflect your experience, because you're going to get stopped at certain points to have you do some required duties before you can continue the story. I know, it's dumb. But at least one of them is actually justified. Which I will also end up showing you guys. That was random. I don't know why my PlayStation keeps doing that. Anyway. This situation is not wholly unexpected. I too have given much thought to our organization's future, though it would seem I have reached a different conclusion. Mayhap it is time I made my feelings known to the antecedent. Come along, Vakama. Alphino, Vakama? Is aught amiss? You desired counsel, and so you shall have it. Minfilia, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn must leave Ul'dah. We must do what? So long as we remain within Ul'dah territory, we will never be free to act with impunity. Moving our headquarters to Vesper Bay only delayed the inevitable. We have demonstrated our capabilities, and the Syndicate has taken note. They will not suffer our organization to remain independent now. We are far too dangerous for that. Surely you realize they are the reason Vesper Bay still lacks an aetherite? They know full well how beneficial one would be to our cause, which is why it and other favors will be denied us unless we cooperate. If Ul'dah is no longer suitable, where would you have us go? Experience has taught us that the appearance of neutrality is as important as the reality. Accordingly, we must keep each of the great nations at arm's length and plant our banner in a place which all agree to be beyond their borders. Mordona. Revenant's Toll, to be precise. It lies within neutral territory and offers all the essential facilities we require. By way of an additional benefit, it is also frequented by a veritable legion of adventurers who may serve to supplement our ranks. I am, of course, conscious of the fact that we have developed a certain bond with Uldar and her people over the years. But I truly believe this to be the best course of action. As you yourself observed, we have invaluable ties to the local community forged through years of concerted effort. Uldar is our home, Alphino. To cast aside everything we have built and start anew in that desolate wasteland would be beyond reckless. The decision is yours to make, antecedent. I ask only that you recall the shared purpose which first moved us to found the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, and which moved you to found the Path of the 12 ere that. We aspire to an ideal, you and I, just as my grandfather did. That makes us more than mere comrades in arms. We are as much your family as... That'll be all, Alphino. I am sure you have some familial affairs of your own to attend to. Your concern is most generous, but no. I have left them in the hands of men better suited to the task than I. I could not very well allow my personal affairs to come before the needs of the Order, after all. Leave Uldar. Has it truly come to this? Oh, Vakama. Pray attend to Alphino. He is engaged in some business, and requires your assistance. Pray be on your way. Alphino waits upon you, and I have much to think about. Oh, and tell him he shall have my answer in due time. And here is Alphino. Confound it. She knows what must be done, yet still she hesitates. All because of these fanciful rumors. I should explain. Minfilia's mother, well, adoptive mother, was among the great many who perished during the calamity. Flamine was her name, though you may know her better as the songstress of Uldar. She was a performer of singular talent, and much beloved by the people of Eorzea, not to mention a certain Charlian minstrel. As you may imagine, the news of her passing was greeted with shock and disbelief by her adoring followers, many of whom refused to acknowledge what had happened. That her body was never found only served to encourage speculation. Minfilia too struggled at first to accept the truth, but as Flamine's absence stretched from months into years, she saw that there could be no other explanation. Until recently, at any rate. For whatever reason, rumors have once again begun to circulate that Flamine is alive and well. One of our informants, Father Iliud, had sent word that a woman matching the songstress's description has been seen of late at the seaside resort of Costa del Sol. If we could succeed in tracking her down, I have no doubt that any worries that now plague Minfilia's heart might be assuaged. I mean to set forth for Lenosha at once. Let us reconvene there and inquire with Master Gegaruju as to the veracity of these rumors. To Costa del Sol we go! Okay, now we go over here. Hey, bye, Scott. Oh, sweet siren of the sands, Mamakote Muse, why have you forsaken me? Titan's Bane! I mean, Vakama, what brings you to my humble resort? Flamine! You mean to tell me the goddess made flesh who dwelt among us until so very recently was the songstress of Uldar? Egads, man! If I had known that, I would have chained it to my bedpost and never let her leave! Pervert. Oh, for shame! Do you think that she now plies her trade for the riffraff off to the west, or wherever she said she was going? It's a tragedy, I say, a tragedy! West, is it? Thank you, Master Gegaruju. Your information will serve us well. That said, there are any number of places she could be. I shall begin my search by the docks and see if any witnesses might have some knowledge to spare. I'd be most appreciative if you could travel on to Wineport and do the same. As you wish. Flying puppy! I'm not trying to fly any higher. What do you think I'm trying to do, silly game? Eek. Oh, they must be inside. Oh, I remember you. Well, if it isn't Vakama, the savior of Wineport. To what do we owe the pleasure? Ah, yes, we did receive a customer matching that description. She was a delight to behold, to give the woman her due, but her perfume was so ghastly, I had no choice but to eject her from the premises, interfering with tastings, you understand. If she is your quarry, why not consult your blind associate? His olfactory perception is without peer. Given that I could smell the woman from a mile away, I dare say he could smell her from 10. But why don't you tell me how you really feel? Oh, my wedding chocobo. Hello. Hey. You want to know if I've seen him? Hey. You want to see if I've seen a Makote lass by the name of Flamine? I wish. I haven't seen a lass of any description for far too bloody long. I am sorry, my dude. But honestly, I feel your pain. I do. Shamani! I see you have had many grand adventures since last we spoke, Vakama. You must share them with me sometime. The girl from a little while ago. One does not forget a perfume like that. So robust and intoxicating, yet simultaneously familiar. Reminiscent of a bloom native to these parts, in fact. I said as much when we spoke. She complimented my power of observation and asked me where she might find some of the flowers. So I told her to follow the road south to Raincatcher Gully, and then head east after crossing the second bridge. The flowers which grow in the shade of the cliff have the strongest scent, you see. If you make haste, you may yet find her there. Mount of Mystery, bear me on my path. And it's a bird! I'm riding to find this Makote on a board. Uh-oh. Take that, you chunky bastard! I am in your debt, stranger. I did not realize my activities had aroused the Gubu's ire until it was too late. The oils can be used to make a perfume, you see, and I... Flamine? I don't... Who are you? Whom do you serve? It appears you have already found our woman. Consider me impressed, my friend. The songstress Sibulda, I presume? Minfilia, or should I say, Acilia, is looking for you. Acilia? You are the very picture of health, my lady, yet the world thinks you dead. I can only conclude that this was by design. The question is, why? Not everyone who endeavors to find me does so with the best intentions, child. You will be pleased to know that I fully intend to reveal myself to Minfilia when the time is right. Oh. Well, that does please me, more than you know. But tell me, sojourns in the forests of Lenosia aside, what exactly will the time be right? When I deem it so. Do you imagine I traveled all this way on a whim? As I was telling your associate prior to your intrusion, I came here to harvest these flowers for use in a perfume. Does that satisfy your curiosity, or would you interrogate me further? My apologies for the interruption. Anyway, now that we all have that we came here... Anyway, now that we all have that which we came for, might we continue this conversation in a safer locale? Wineport, say? I have played this story to its conclusion. I have read every word in my mind, yet reading it aloud, I know I'm going to struggle with this old English crap. Hello, Alfredo! This is not at all how I had envisioned it. I can scarce begin to imagine what emotions will go through Minfilia's heart when she reunites with her mother after all these years. All things in time. You say my daughter awaits us in Vesper Bay, yes? I've kept her waiting long enough. Let us be off on the next ferry. I can finish fashioning the perfume along the way. Understood. Come with me. It would be my pleasure to escort you to the Waking Sands. Haha! Oh, I love that. I didn't have to spend a single gil to get here. Antecedents. You have a guest. Lamine? Acilia. I haven't seen her like this in years, Vakama. I never truly believed it when they told me you were dead, but what kept you away for so long? The Imperials came for me as I always knew they would. And so I resolved to stay as far away from you as I could, lest their pursuit of me endanger you and our cause. I could think of no better way to grant you the freedom to continue our work. And continue it you did, achieving things I would not have imagined possible. I followed your every success and celebrated in secret. I'm so proud of you, Asilia. I learned from the best. I have a gift for you. So Cetia perfume. You remembered. How could I ever forget? You wore it all the time. If ever I lost sight of you, I could find you again just by following my nose. I did not think it was made anymore. It must have gone to so much trouble. It was no trouble to me, my darling. I fear I cannot say the same for Vakama, however. I could not have made it without him. Thank you, Vakama. Thank you both. There's something else. This is the cat's eye I found. All these years you've kept it. My father was a member of the Alamegan resistance. When I was yet a child, he brought me here to Ul'dah. The accident which claimed his life happened shortly after our arrival. It was Lamine who took care of me then. She raised me as her own, taught me everything I needed to know to survive. I am no stranger to the facts of your history, yet I fear I have failed to grasp their implications. It is clear there is much I do not know about you and your mother both. One of her first lessons to me concerned mining, and I was a very dedicated student. This cat's eye was the first stone I unearthed. It wasn't much, of course, but I was exceedingly proud to have found it nonetheless. So I gave it to Lamine as a gift. She said it was beautiful. But there I'm at a loss. Why are you returning this to me? Is something amiss? No, Asilia. Nothing is amiss. Quite the opposite. I need you to realize how far you've come, and how much further you must still go. You and your allies have accomplished more than I could ever have hoped. You have succeeded where I failed, and made me so proud that words fail me. But even as I marvel at the woman you've become, and at all the many things you've done, I cannot help but think of that which you have yet to do, and of what it may entail. Asilia, daughter, you cannot stay here anymore. You and the Scions must leave Ul'dah. Lamine. You built it once, Cecilia. You can build it again. And this time, we'll do it together. Truly? Alphino, the time has come for the Scions to leave Vesper Bay. We shall establish a new headquarters in Revenant's Toll as you proposed. Much work lies ahead of us. Inform our fellow Scions and send word to the students of Baldesion. Preparations begin at once. laying the foundation. It is all well and good that we have found ourselves a new home in Revenant's Toll, but there is so much to be done, and in so little time. Our first step will be to secure the cooperation of the Adventurers Guild representatives there. Were it not for the Guild's considerable efforts, the original Camp Revenant's Toll would have never been established, much less its more heavily fortified successor. However, with construction still ongoing and resources in short supply, it seems certain that the Guild will require something in return for their support, sympathetic to our cause though they may be. Whatever they ask, I shall not regret it. To be plain, we need them more than they need us. Without their assistance, such essential tasks as securing new facilities, cultivating relationships with local merchants, and recruiting adventurers would prove difficult, if not impossible. You need not concern yourself with such matters, Antecedent. Really, Alphino, if I need concern myself with anything, it is surely matters such as these. Indirectly, perhaps. I submit that you might instead concern yourself with a different matter, namely, to whom the resolution of such matters might best be entrusted. And here I am, nor do I come alone. May I present the esteemed emissary of the Adventurers Guild at Revenant's Toll. It is an honor, Antecedent. Upon receiving word of your intentions from Master Alphino, we thought it best to begin talks at the earliest available opportunity. Know that my associates at Revenant's Toll hold the Scions of the Seventh Dawn in the highest regard. We should be honored to welcome your organization. There are, of course, certain provisions which must needs be negotiated. If it please you, I would do so. It does. Sir, unless I am much mistaken, you are the one known as Vakama, are you not? May I say what a pleasure it is to make your acquaintance? Slothborn spoke of you in the most glowing terms. To steal an Imperial Reaper and then use it to infiltrate a Garlean castrum is an undertaking few would contemplate, and fewer still survive. We shall always be welcome at Revenant's Toll. We hope you will favor us with your presence again ere long. Well, well. It would seem your reputation precedes you, Vakama. Maybe I should dispatch you to Revenant's Toll with all haste, as first intended. But before that, I dare say you have earned yourself a rest. After all, you have traveled so far, and there is already so much you have done for us, and for me. We will speak again anon. Till then, take care. I think my girlfriend would appreciate this. See my character just sitting and reading as I take my rest. Ah, Vakama. Were you able to get some rest? I would ask you to come with me at the Solar. Alphino has just returned, and it would seem there is something he would share with us. You're here. Good. I come bearing news. The negotiations are concluded. And our friends at the Adventurers Guild have agreed to furnish us with new facilities and material support in exchange for our assistance in the ongoing defense and development of Revenant's Toll. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn shall have a new home in Mordona, the Rising Stones. A bittersweet victory, if truth be told. I cannot deny that I had come to look forward to Tataru's tale about many guests and their many, many demands. From the waking sands to the rising stones. Possibly poetic. It wasn't your doing, was it? I too have news to share. In expectation of this momentous day, I personally informed the Alliance leaders of our plans, and they have each pledged their full support, General Raban included. Moreover, I have decided that the time is right for us to cast off the vestiges of our Order's veil of secrecy and announce ourselves to the world. Are you sure that is wise, Antecedent? If anything, it is a mere formality. Our existence is quite possibly the worst kept secret in Eorzea. Let us affirm our identity, proclaim our achievements, that all may know what the Scions of the Seventh Dawn stand for. Well, obvious risks apart, it would be nice to receive a little more recognition. And the people have the right to know who saved them. It is my hope that this gesture will encourage the people of Eorzea to place their trust in us. I would reveal to them the true extent of our power, yes, but in doing so I would show them that it is a power accountable to no one and at once to all. And what of us? And what of us? We who have felled primals and faced down the Empire. To you, my fellow Scions, I would say this. Prepare for the challenges which lie ahead, for they will be great indeed. Great, I say, yet no greater than us, and we will rise to them as we have time and again, united as one. There must be some way I can... Wait, that area is said to be rich in minerals. Maybe I should ask Flamine to teach me the basics of mining, too. Do you ever wonder how he does it? Alphino, I mean. It was almost predictable that he should appear with an emissary of the Adventurers Guild, mere moments after I had expressed the need to forge ties between our organizations. Truly, his sense of timing rivals even your own. Setting such mysteries aside for the present, I have a task for you. I would like you to deliver these documents to Flameborne. They concern our forthcoming move. Do take care on the road and represent us well, Vakama. As if you have to ask! Mordona. Going to my free company house is not going to wind up helping the Scions any. Alrighty. I was told to expect a Scion, but I didn't expect it to be you. It had been far too long, Vakama. You have something for me, yes? Let's see now. Yes, everything appears to be in order. You'll be staying with us for a while, yes? But that we had a dozen more like you. Since we don't, though, we'll just give you the work of a dozen men. I jest. It's possibly a primal.
Back to do the work of a dozen men, I see. Ha! But I jest. Even I can appreciate that an important man such as yourself has little time for menial tasks. But since you're here, mayhap you'd be keen on having a look around the Scion's new home. See that impressive structure over there? That's the place. It was originally built to house the branch of the guild, you see. As such, it comes complete with a tavern where adventurers can rest from the road, fill their bellies with good food and drink, and their ears with tales of fortunes to be had about the realm. It may get a bit raucous at times, but I imagine it'll be as good a place as any to recruit capable men and women to your cause. Come with me, I'll show you around.
Is that you, Vakama? I'm quite sorry to interrupt, but I have most urgent news. We received grim tidings from Gridania, and it would appear our aid is required at once. I must ask you to report back to the Waking Sands with all due haste.
Is everything quite all right, friend? I can't say I'm privy to the details, but it would seem there is no time for a leisurely tour. But no worries. You can rest assured that I'll see to all necessary arrangements. Pray return any time after you've seen to your more pressing matters.
Okie dokie, back to Revenant's Toll. Back to Vesper Bay! Mount Roulette, Mount Roulette. What will I get? I don't know yet.
A chair! A flying chair! It's even waterproof! How about that?
A messenger from the Twin Adder came to the Waking Sands while you were in Mordona. I wasn't privy to his conversation with the antecedent, but I did see the look on her face after he took his leave. Something is definitely amiss. Could it be that the exile of Son Garuda again? Or mayhap Imperial forces have been sighted within the Shroud? Well, whatever it may be, I'm absolutely certain it's nothing you can't handle. Now go and ask the antecedent if there's anything you can do. At once, Tataru! I knew this day would come, yet I prayed it would not come so soon. We have reason to believe that another primal, or an entity resembling one, has been summoned in Gridania. Thine arrival is customarily timely, Vakama. The etheric waves leave little room for doubt. Thy talents will be needed ere long. If there be truth in my suspicions, 'tis a familiar foe we face, though one quite unlike the Lady of the Vortex. We dare not draw conclusions without evidence, but as Urianger says, the readings bear a strong resemblance to ones observed more than 5 years ago. Though I had hoped the Mughals guard beyond such follies. Suffice it to say, this disturbance warrants a full investigation. Thy presence hath been requested by Commander Shiolwa. He awaited thee at the Adder's Nest. Pray hasten to Gridania, Vakama.
Ida and Papalimo will rendezvous with you there. May you walk in the light of the crystal.
Chukudanya!
Alright, let us see what is going on. A pleasure to see you as always, Vakama. Thank you for answering our summons. Quite frankly, I could think of no one more qualified to... but we're getting ahead of ourselves. Allow me to explain. Not long ago, the Moogle Kuplokop visited the Adder's Nest to request an audience with the Elder Seedseer. He spoke of an imminent threat to all Moogle kind, one which would imperil the entire Twelveswood if left unchecked. You proved an able ambassador to the Sylphs, and we would have you reprise the role in our dealings with the Moogles. The rest you should hear from Kuplokop himself. He awaits you with the Elder Seedseer at the Lotus Stag. Not within the Elder Seedseer. That would imply something that is not something that should be thought of. Okay, I'm just gonna make my way over to this here ether right and use this here Ethernet to go to that there Conjurer's Guild. The other Scions have already arrived, sir. May I show you in?
You have to stop them! But you mustn't kill them! They're not bad, Moogles, Kupo! They're just misguided! A gentle, no, firm thrashing is in order! Yes, but no!
Calm yourself, Kuplokop! Can you not see that he hasn't the faintest idea what you're talking about? Be quiet this instant! Pray forgive his witless outburst, sister. Most grateful I am that you would come, Vakama, and upon such short notice. Truly, Gridania could not wish for a more stalwart ally. But you are doubtless eager to know wherefore we summoned you. Our friend Kuplokop has brought to us news of a most unsettling development. It would seem that the good King Mogglemog XII has returned to Eorzea. A curious thing to hear, I know. Truth to tell, I myself cannot say for sure if he is a genuine figure from history or some manifestation of Moogle mythology. Kuplo here would have me believe the former.
Once upon a time, we Moogles served the gods in the heavens. It was quite nice up there, unspeakably beautiful, unimaginably spacious, and with a literally endless supply of wine, Kupo. In spite of this, or possibly because of the last part, the gods eventually became discontented and started squabbling, which made life jolly difficult for the poor Moogles. So good King Mogglemog XII, may his glorious name live forever, decreed that the time had come to leave Kupo. The realm of man would suffice, he said, so all the Moogles should live there instead. Unfortunately, the two realms are so far apart that we couldn't safely fly down. But good King Mogglemog XII, may his miraculous foresight ever be praised, Knew exactly what to do, Kupo. He had a rope, you see, the longest one ever woven. This he nobly held while his subjects climbed all the way down to the world below. And that is how we Moogles came to this land, Kupo. All of us except good King Mogomog XII. May his courageous sacrifice never be forgotten. He alone would remain in the heavens so that Moogle kind might at last know peace.
That really does murder on the voice.
Except that he has not remained in the heavens, from what I understand. That being your reason for contacting us, yes? I'll bet he tied the rope to something. Good thinking. Remind me again what the problem was with him returning to Eorzea? The problem, Ida, is the fact that he was summoned. It is our belief that good King Mogomog XII is a myth made manifest via means akin to those employed by the beast tribes in their summoning of their gods. Wait, you're saying a handful of Moogles with a boatload of crystals wished really, really hard and he just sort of appeared? Would that even work? What I cannot fathom is why they would even try. With Garuda humbled and the Ultima weapon destroyed, what new threat could have prompted them to take so drastic a measure?
Might that not in itself be the answer? Twice in the last half-decade, Eorzea has been brought to the very brink of destruction, only to be spared at the last by the heroics of a chosen few. To you who braved those tempests and survived by virtue of your own strength, this latest period of peace will doubtless seem a welcome respite. But to those who had not the power to defend themselves, who were spared only by another's grace, this is merely the calm before the storm. I think the Moogles God are afraid of what tomorrow will bring, and that things may not end so well as they did yesterday. That fear has driven them to call upon a greater power, one they believe can be relied upon to protect their loved ones and their homes, come what may. I'd like to do the voice every time Moogles come up, but I will literally end up being unable to do it anymore if I keep doing it. I assure you, the Moogles God only want to protect the forest from outsiders. But ever since the return of good King Mogomog XII, may his boundless grace fill our hearts with love, they've started to get a little carried away, Kupo. Verging on a lot, in fact. Like the Sylphs who summoned Ramu, you mean? We cannot discount the possibility of this entity is influencing the Moogles in a manner similar to that of a primal. We share the same concern. Whoever or whatever the king may be, it is our belief that he poses a threat not only to Moogle kind, but to Gridania as a whole. Thus do we beseech you, Vakama, confront good King Mogomog XII, and drive him from our midst. Humbly do I thank you. The sanctity of the Moogles' God and their liege lord is concealed by magical wards. Brother Isumiyan of the Conjurers Guild will doubtless be able to offer insight on how they might be dispelled. Pray seek his counsel ere you proceed any further. Okay, now I've got to go talk to the Conjurers Guild leader, and that is not the way out. This is. I was right. Here we go. Welcome, Vakama. Welcome. That you should be the one to face good King Mogomog XII. is of great comfort to me and the elementals both. As I am sure you know, the Mughals are not by their nature a warlike race. Yet should the king be suffered to remain, it is like that his influence will bring about a change in them. Thus does it behoove us to defeat him quickly, before any lasting damage is done. Make whatever preparations you deem necessary, and inform me when you are ready to seek the king.
I have selected regicide.
The wards barring access to the king's sanctuary can only be nullified through the use of enchanted keystones, the self-same method employed 5 years ago when first the king was summoned to Eorzea. It was with great regret that we were forced to sanction the slaying of the guardians who held the keystones, for none were in our possession at the time. By the grace of the elementals, however, we have been spared that burden on this occasion. Kublai confided in me that he had been entrusted with a set of keystones by the Mughal themselves. Yet, wishing not to betray their confidence, he begged me to find some other means to gain entry to the king's sanctum. Alas, I have been unable to do so, and dare not labor any longer, for fear that the Mughals might succumb to the corrupting influence of their liege lord. We must needs have Kublai Khop's keystones, Vakama. Pray go to him and beg his assistance. He awaits you at West Shore Pier. Impress upon him our great need, and I am certain he will yield.
Okay.
I will go do that thing. Ah, I see we have a new player. Or a new character, one of the two. Okay, you know what? This is going to take too long. There we go. Thank you, Peloton! So, how will you do it, Kupo? Oh, he told you about that. Well, if there truly is no other way, I'll do it, Kupo. Take the ferry to Sweet Bloom Pier. I'll go on ahead. I don't know why, but that particular part of the daytime music for Gridania reminds me so much of the Shire from Lord of the Rings. So much! Don't you dare lie to me, Kupo. I know what you're planning and I won't allow it. Open your eyes, Kupo. The king will never be satisfied, no matter how many crystals you bring him. We offered you a choice, and this is how you repay us? By consorting with this Aura? Imperials, Gridanians, Sylphs, you're no different from the rest of them. Actually, you're worse, Kupo. Traitor to his kinsmoogle, he plots treason against the crown. Enough. Kupo Khop will answer for his crimes soon enough, as will all who defy the will of good King Mogomog XII. May he reign forevermore, Kupo.
The king is planning to purge the 12 of his enemies, Kupo. You've got to stop him before it's too late. The entrance to Thornmarch is deeper than the bramble patch, Kupo. If you take me there, I can nullify the ward, but be warned. The Moogle's guard has set traps to lure enchanted beasts. I can't hide from them, so you'll need to protect me, Kupo. Okay. Oh, hello. Goodbye. Hi. Bye. Oh. No. Bad critter. Oh? Oh. We're here, Kupo. I don't see any more beasts. Do you? Are you ready to face the king, Kupo? Then step closer to the ward. Raise your hand and focus. Like when you attune to an aetheryte, Kupo. I'll open the way for you. That is not what I intended. The rest is up to you, Kupo. Now go and teach those foolish Moogles a lesson and send the king back whence he came. Okay. Here we go. Kupo? Who in the seven hells are they?
Meddling adventurers, I'd wager. Moogle's Guard to arms! Defend the king, Kupo! Can I really? You did it, Kupo! You did it! Good King Muggamug the 12th, may his mighty soul rest in peace, is no more! I shudder to think what might have happened had you not stopped the Moogle's Guard when you did. Thank you, Vakama. Perhaps now they'll come to their senses and stop playing at fairy tales. Rest assured that the chieftain will have choice words for them too. You should go and tell Puckneypock that the king is no more, Kupo. She's with Ryo Senna at Camp Tranquil and can relay the news to the chieftain. To Camp Tranquil. Get a good running start, and... Do I dare believe my ears? Good King Muggamug the 12th, may his magnificent virtue serve as an example to us all, has fallen? All Mugglekind owes you a debt, Kupo. And since Ryo wishes to congratulate you as well, I shall let you two speak without fear of interruption. Thank you. Put me back. Your bravery and service to the Twelveswood and her Moogles shall not be forgotten, Vakama. My sister will doubtless wish to hear the tale of this great victory from the mouth of the man responsible. Pray return to the Lotus Stand and treat her to a full account of the day's events, while the details are yet fresh in your mind. Okay! Ooh, what?
Okay. Going to the Conjurer's Guild. Talk to the Silent Conjurer. The other seed seer is expecting you, sir. May I show you in?
Yes.
Vakama, you have returned to us, unharmed and victorious. Thus do I have 2 reasons to be glad. Yet many questions remain unanswered. If you would be so kind as to oblige me, I would fain hear all that occurred in the Thorn Mark. Then it is as we feared. The king really is a primal. But he really isn't, is he? I mean, the Moguls just don't worship him, for one thing. He's not even a god to them. That doesn't sound like any primal I've ever heard of.
Then mayhaps the fault lies within the definition. The fact remains that through a combination of the power contained in crystals and the force of their collective faith, the Moguls called forth a being that by rights should not exist. Moreover, when slain, said being left no corpse, the ether which comprised him instead being scattered to the 4 winds. According to the accepted definition, he may not be a primal, but the mode of his manifestation was in every aspect the same. Which means... Ascians! This whole business reeks of their handiwork! Kupapa? They said it was a masked man who taught them how years ago, but Gridania has no shortage of masked men, and I never thought to question. Confound it all! How many more will they ensnare with their tainted gifts?
Too many, I fear. So long as there are paragons. So long as there are paragons to stir the embers, fools to build the pyre, and crystals to feed the flames, ever and again shall we suffer primal visitation. A somber thought, but a salutary one. My heartfelt thanks, Vakama. Already the information you have provided has proven invaluable. The Grand Serpent Marshal and I shall have much to discuss. Oh, before you do, my lady, I was hoping we might finish discussing that other matter. The matter of which you speak has even now been settled. The Scion shall not want for support. We shall be glad to send additional supplies to Revenant's Toll.
We knew we could count on you, my lady. While Ida and I remain to discuss the particulars of our arrangement with the Elder Seedseer, mayhap you could return to the Waking Sands and apprise the antecedent of all that has transpired. Okay. Loading screens. Bound to alert. What will I get? I don't know yet. It's a polar bear! It's a bit warm here. Why don't I cool things down a bit? Haha! It is good to see you hale and healthy, Vakama. I received word from Ida and Papalimo that you had felled good King Mogomog XII, but I had hoped to hear your version of the tale. So it was as they said, summoned by the same methods used by the beast tribes and taught by the Ascians. Though unfortunate, this incident did at least serve to remind the Elder Seedseer of our usefulness. Her offer for additional support could not have come at a better time. My thanks, Vakama. The Gifted. Owing to the tireless efforts of all concerned, we are at long last ready to bid farewell to Vesper Bay. So as to avoid drawing undue attention, we shall make the journey to Revenant's Toll in small groups, departing at irregular intervals. Lest you doubt, it is still my intention to conduct future operations openly, but on this particular occasion, the need for caution overrides all other concerns. To move north as one ponderous caravan would only serve to invite attack. It seemed only right that I should be the last to leave, and I would have you remain with me until the end, Vakama. Upon my departure, the Waking Sands shall formally cease to be our headquarters, and the premises shall be given into the care of Urianger. I had thought to relinquish the property, but he was quite adamant, and I had not the heart to disagree. These walls have borne witness to some of the brightest and darkest moments of our Order's history. Mayhap it is best that we do not forsake them entirely. Urianger shall remain here and devote his energies to studying the nature of primals. By the grace of the 12, he will one day discover the permanent solution that we have sought for so long. Of course, he will not be alone. Alice shall continue to work closely with him as well. Should they require our assistance, I have their assurances that they will not hesitate to contact us. Speaking of Urianger, would you inquire of him if any tasks remain undone? I cannot escape the feeling that I have forgotten something important. Thou art ever welcome, Vakama, but I require no assistance. Pray, take thy leave unburdened by concern for my well-being. Verily, thy countenance bespeaks a desire to quit this place without further delay. Mayhap thou thinkest this chapter of our tale concluded, that these halls should rightly be consigned to the annals of history? In man's eagerness to seize the future, how readily he doth set down the past. Full many a proud pioneer hath bravely stridden into the great unknown, only to find there the banner of his ancestor, faded by the eons. And still man glorieth in his discoveries. 'Tis through his pride that wisdom doth ever give way to ignorance, while they who lurk in shadow remain hidden, lost no sooner than they are found. Be not offended, Vakama. Thy conduct hath ever been beyond reproach. Despite thy surpassing strength and all thy many victories, thou hast never been so convinced of thine own greatness as to imagine thyself above the failings of thy forebears. Mayhap it is the echo which hath opened thine eyes to the lessons of history. Would that the same could be said of... Ah! Whence came that cry? The solar! 12 for Fend, the antecedent! Vakama, you must... Tell me, Louis, would you have done the same? Louis Lavilleur was a remarkable man, wise beyond mortal measure. Would that I had met him prior to his passing. An Ascian? Here? How? How readily you see. You are indeed gifted, antecedent. But you are not like the others. Your robes. Gifted, but not ignorant. Yet I shall not judge you harshly. Gifted, but ignorant. Yet I shall not judge you harshly. The fault lies with your forebears. It has been millennia. Mine are the robes of an emissary. Unlike he who came before, I have no quarrel with you. He who... You speak of La Habrea? La Habrea is a warrior. He fought. He fell. He may yet learn from his mistakes. Then he is still... Come. I only confirm that which you already knew. There is no cessation, no oblivion, only expulsion. You... What a... We're ready when you are, my lady. If there's nothing else. Is something the matter? Ah, I feel the same way. After everything that's happened here, it feels strange to leave. But I'm sure we'll get used to Revenant's Toll. Soon get used to Revenant's Toll. How do I skip away? Well, let you say your goodbyes. Take as long as you like, my lady. We shall depart whenever you're ready. It is only to be expected. She lacks the gift and the knowledge both. To her, we are indistinct. I do not understand. Shadowless, fleshless, formless. What truth there is in each tale is diluted by time and telling. Knowledge dictates expectation, and expectation colours perception. Thus did she perceive naught. So it is with all but a few chosen. Even you, when young, could not yet see with eyes unclouded. You know nothing of me. You know nothing about me. Nothing! The gift grants you clarity. It grants you focus. With it, you may in time come to see us as we are, rather than this crude approximation. La Habrea did not think so highly of the Echo. La Habrea is wrong about a great many things. The Echo is indeed a gift, albeit one you have yet to master. And if we did? There would be no strife between our peoples, for we would be of one mind. I leave as I came, in peace, antecedent. May we meet again, as friends. Wait! Stay where you are! Mayhap I was indelicate. 'Tis a mercy she shields her children from his grace with such resolve. Was it also by her hand that you survived the ardor, I wonder?
I take it there is no need to explain. Save your concern. He did me no lasting harm. Whatever his intention was, it was not to kill. I heard a cry. What happened? Are you alright? You look faint. Do you mean to lie down? I could fetch you a flask of my special tonic. Urianger, send word to the students of Bardesian. Tell them to scour the archives, the forbidden tomes in particular. If there is any reference to an Ascian robed in white, however oblique, I would know of it.
An Ascian, my lady? Was that what gave you cause to cry out?
I did but moments ago glimpse a figure clad in white set forth from the waking sands. Yet Ascians are wont to employ teleportation magics. Why would one be so brazen? I know not, and care not. Find him, Vakama. Turn every stone in Vesper Bay if you have to. Pray, attend to me, Tataru. Oh, nope. Wrong target. Okay, now we need to find the white-robed Ascian, and there he is.
I am told that you are the warrior of light, but I would know for myself. I shall walk north, and you may choose to follow. Know, however, that you shall be waylaid if you do. You may even perish. Should you survive, we shall speak anon.
I'm not scared. now I gotta keep going. Oh hey, it's this guy again. Okay, now I gotta approach it. Okay, just on the other side of this laughing toad.
Truly remarkable. I thank you for granting me this indulgence. None save he who bested La Habrea could endure such an examination. Have the laws of man grown so twisted in my absence that it is now permitted to lay hands upon an emissary? You bore witness to my audience with the antecedent, did you not? And you know I acted only in self-defense. I realize the same cannot be said of La Habrea. Even amongst his brethren he is considered unique. Nevertheless, I cannot wholly condemn his misdeeds, for through them we discovered you, one so strong in the gift that he could cast us out. Your mother favors you still, that much is plain. But surely you must feel it. Her influence wanes, and her strength shall soon be spent. These lands, these people, this world, all shall soon change. As it was, so shall it be again, as it should always have been. Doubt my claims, and question my motives, if you will. Only believe me when I say this. I am Elidibus, emissary, bearer of the word of the one true God, and we shall meet again.
Mount Roulette, go! And I think after that I will call it for this stream. I have a lot that I need to get done. Thank the gods you've returned, Vakama. After you left, I began to worry that I might have sent you to your doom. I take it our visitor proved elusive? Beg pardon? He was waiting for you? What did you do? What did he say? As it was, so it shall be again? What does he speak? And of what exactly? The words of this Elidibus portend much, but reveal nothing. Say perhaps a measure of disdain for La Habrea. I had hoped for answers, but it seems I shall have to be content with a wealth of additional questions. Alright, that's gonna do it for right now. As I had mentioned, I have things I need to get done. But I will do my best to try and start uploading a bit more often. Or streaming a bit more often, rather. So, until next time, be happy, be well, be healthy, farewell.